welcome back to Piston.my and another episode of Blood, Sweat and Horsepower, where we bring you the latest build and the most interesting people from the automotive industry in Malaysia. Today I have here with me a very interesting guy, Mr. Terence, and his beautiful 1969 Alfa Romeo 1750 GTV. Terence, thanks for being here. Obviously a very lovely evening. Made lovely by a beautiful car. Tell me about your car, how you came across it, what's the story?
This is the car that I got in year 2005, I think. So it's been like 15 years I had this car. It's my first classic car that I've got, and till now I love it. And I was really lucky. When I bought this car, I didn't know about much about GTV. They got a 1600, 1750, and even 2000. And but when I got it, after that, a lot of people told me this is the model that everybody go for. It's a 1750 and all. So I got it in a very good price, and I spent quite a lot on the first restoration.
Of course.
But most of all, I love this car because I love road trips. So those days when I told people that I'm going to drive this car to Thailand and to Koh Samui, a lot of people said a lot of negative things, but I did it. It was a very tiring trip, but I still enjoyed it. We had fun with the car, driving all the way to Koh Samui in 2005, 2006 New Year. And with my girlfriend, and she loved the car as well at the time. So yeah, I'm proud of it.
So is it true what they say about Alfa Romeos not being easy to maintain? I mean, you drove it to Koh Samui. Were there any dramas?
Well, I mean, when you drive classic car,
full of dramas, right?
You get full of dramas. But that's the beauty about cars those days and today. Those days, I still remember when my father or our uncle buy cars. The first thing they do, they open the manual and they'll go through it because when you get breakdown, the car company expect you to fix those simple problems,
By yourself, right?
Yeah, by yourself. And that's why they have the manual. But today's car, those things
they
never
tell you
exist.
Not to open the bonnet.
So this car, it's normal. I did a lot of big trips with my other Volkswagen and all. But this car, when it gives you problem, it's not as easy as Volkswagen. It's a bit more tough. It's got a twin carburetor to Weber carburetor to tune the Weber itself. It's hell, but it's still manageable. And those days people were not so afraid of this car. Like you see the street mechanics or what, they will still try to fix it for you. And because you don't have much electronics on this car, so it's not that simple, but it can be done. You can fix the problem.
I just want to tell our viewers that you are so hardcore about road trips that you actually drove your Volkswagen Combi from KL to
all the way to Europe.
What? Hold up, wait a minute. Wow.
It took us 2.5 months to reach Germany.
Who's us?
There was four cars, 5 hours, Malaysians, 3 Combi and 1 Beetle. And the Beetle was a couple, so there was only 1 girl. She became more famous because she had to travel with 4 other guys. And we drove through Malaysia, Thailand, Laos, China, Mongolia, and then we crossed to Russia.
Crazy.
And then we did 8,600 kilometers in 30 days.
But you're not done because your Combi is actually parked in Spain, right? So you're still, the road trip is not done.
Not done. So what I planned is we did more than what we wanted to do. So we even went up to Scandinavian countries like Norway, Sweden, Finland.
With your Combi?
With the Combi.
Amazing.
And then we covered like 32 countries. Nice. I spent a bit more than the rest of them. I spent 9 months the whole trip.
Wow.
And then lastly, now my Combi is in Barcelona, Spain, because this year I wanted to drive down to Gibraltar and cross over to Morocco and do the African continent, but because of COVID. I hope I can do it next year, and let's see how it goes. You know?
So about this car, I'm sure there's a story behind it. Like, I mean, you said you bought it in 2005.
Yeah.
So How is it like restoring an Alfa Romeo?
After this was the first car I restored, so I thought all classic car it's gonna be tough. But of course, after this, I bought an MG Midget and then a Volkswagen. Compared to these other classic cars, this car it's a bit challenging.
Yeah.
You know, the parts you want to get, you have to order it from UK, Europe, or Australia. And you know, in Malaysia, we try to modify things and all. Even like the brake cylinder pump, I try to
fabricate it.
you know, we even try to use a Audi pump and do it. You can use, but not for long, you know. And Alfa Romeo, even until today, you know, a lot of people say it's a problematic car. My first car until my daily car now, it's always been Alfa Romeo.
Until today, you drive an Alfa
yeah,
daily?
Daily, yeah. I drive a 145 twin spark Alfa Romeo 97 model. Before that, I had Alfa 33 Boxer.
Nice.
So these are problem cars because, you know, not many mechanics would want to repair it. And to get the parts, it's really difficult and challenging, and you have to wait. But now, since everything is online, you can get the parts easily. But to get someone to fix it and make sure that they do it the right way, it's another challenging thing. You know?
So if anybody wanted to get into this hobby, if I can call it a hobby, because obviously it can be very stressful. Hobbies are supposed to be calming, right? So if somebody were to go and he wanted to start with an Alfa Romeo, what would your advice be?
Okay, Alfa Romeo, for me, I've been with other classic car groups like Volkswagen and all. Volkswagen is a very big and huge community, Alfa Romeo, it's not, you know. But compared to all these other cars, Alfa Romeo, you can ask, I can bet you now, you can find another Alfa Romeo enthusiast and you ask them, you know, why you like the Alfa Romeo? Is it the engine is a reliable engine? They'll say, no, it's not. So does it break down? Yes, it breaks down a lot of times.
All the time.
Does the aircon work? Yeah, sometimes, and most of the time it's hot. Then why do you love it? I don't know. That's like for me also.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and obviously it's a very beautiful car, right? So.
The Italians, I think I mean, when I did my road trip, I spent a lot of time in Italy and with my friends. So they always told me in the north, when they built the Alfa Romeo company, when they build this car, they say, look, we don't have to compete with the Germans to be reliability or what. We just want the car to be sexy and you should have fun driving it. And until today, especially this car, even now, you know, I drive it, you really have fun.
That's what Italian cars are all about. They're very emotional, you know, they really bring out the emotions in you, but not so much in your pocket though. So do you get offers to, you know, do people come up to you and say, look, I'll pay you this much money, I just want the car today?
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Well, funny you asked that question because this car, I had a very bad accident about 6-7 years ago, and I fixed the car. It was in Penang, so the guys did the bodywork, sent the car over, and then I was doing my, you know, epic journey with my combi. So I painted the car, didn't do much neat work, but just painted the normal paint, parked it, and the car was sitting there for 5 years. Okay?
Wow.
And I didn't do anything. I know the brakes and the engine all was like need to be tuned and fixed, but I didn't. I just leave it there because I know if I touch this, it's gonna cost me money. But last year, when the pandemic started in March, April, I think somewhere in November last year, a guy came, saw the car, and he said, look, I'll give you this much money. I'll take the car as is. It was very tempting because you know, we went through a lot of financial problem, and I told him, look, the money will do a lot for me, but my heart is not there to give this car away. And then all my other friends also told me, pull the car out and do something about it, make it run and all. And from last year December till now, I took it out, got it running, and then I started driving it.
And here you are.
So
bro, your car obviously looks good, right? And it looks like it's properly ready to even go to Koh Samui tomorrow. So is it really perfectly ready, or is there a lot more to be done?
I would say about 20-30% more to be done.
Oh, okay,
And,
that's still quite a bit.
mechanically, I think the brake and the gearbox need to be checked.
Okay.
It's a too big job, but that's all. After that, I think I can drive. Even last week, we went up to the Pahang Selangor border, Bukit Muang or something.
Yeah.
So I drove the car, had no problem and all. So the thing about me is, like the grill, I have to wait for my friends in Thailand to send me. So until then, I just modified this, and my body guy fabricated the bracket here, and I went and chrome it.
Is there supposed to be a bumper here? Or?
Yep.
There's supposed to be a
There's bumper, but for this model, if you Google it, most of them they will take out the bumper and they will put a indicator lights here.
Because it looks very clean already.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, so those are the things I need to wait for the parts to come and then fix it back. But why I did this is because I don't want to keep the car.
Of course.
I want to drive it. So.
Talking about driving it, let's go for a drive now.
Okay.
And we'll let you hear the engine, enjoy the cool night breeze, and then we'll talk more about this car.
Okay,
Right?
Ken?
Awesome. So you definitely don't drive this daily lah?
I tried to. Last month, I think I drove this for 3 weeks. I was driving daily.
Oh.
Yeah, and then the brakes started giving me problem. So now I kind of like don't want to make it worse and everything.
Yeah, of course. But what's the biggest challenge of driving this?
Yeah.
Like you said, you were driving it daily. On the weekend, yeah lah, you enjoy it.
Now the biggest challenge is you will be sweating like hell. No aircon, and and you get the heat from here.
Yeah, I was feeling the firewall. I was feeling the firewall.
Somehow I already got that heat protection.
Yeah.
I got that and still
You feel the heat.
hot, yeah.
So if you're shooting during the day, it's even hotter lah.
Hotter.
What's the fastest you've gone in this?
This one I whacked 140 lah.
Wow.
Last time when I drove to Singapore.
But because it's a hydraulic, non-assisted power steering,
Yeah.
non-assisted steering, so maybe it feels a bit more blunted lah.
Yeah.
Now that you've driven your Volkswagen Combi to Europe, maybe you should drive this car to Italy.
Oh. All the way Italy, I think I won't be able to make it. But if I have a lot of money, I will ship it there.
Yeah.
After so long driving, I think you need to feel this car. So why don't you
I would love to, man. I would love
jump
to.
on the driver's seat and experience
A classic Alfa.
a classic Alfa GTV, bro. Okay.
The steering, the gear shifter has a really long throw to it. It's amazing. Full of character. I love the Jaeger
Speedometer.
speedometer, the dials.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And it responds
Yeah.
to the slightest tip. So you really got to keep sharp,
Yeah.
because even the slightest steering input,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's got a lot of free play, I would say. I need to
the
but
steering wheel,
the steering wheel, yeah.
But I guess once you get used to it, then it's not so
once
bad.
you're
lah.
used to it, it's not bad. The clutch that's why my clutch plate is gone. So those are the few things that I need to do. I need to drop the gearbox.
I guess all those burn downs don't help.
and I know I'm gonna change the clutch. That's why
That's why lah. But is this the original rear view mirror?
No.
No, right?
No,
it
it's
doesn't
not.
look like.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it belongs in a classic Alfa.
But it's something like this. But this part is different. But it's black.
Yeah.
This part is almost the same.
But I must say that for such an old car, the suspension is pretty alright.
Yeah, pretty alright.
It's not trashy. Fifth gear. Oh. Still getting used to the steering wheel.
Yeah.
But it's definitely nice. It definitely has character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish it had more elbow room over here. I love it.
But out of all the cars you drove, what do you think about this? I mean,
every car is unique, right?
Yeah.
I don't believe in people saying that this is the best car, that's the best car. You know, bro, I love the fact that you never tried so hard to restore this. It's an old car. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But it's been properly driven. You drove it all the way to Koh Samui. You drive it to Singapore a lot, and it shows. There's no doubt. The interior shows. You know, it looks like it's from something from 1969, lah.
Yeah.
But you know what I really like about this car, of course, like I told you, is the engagement, how involved the driver is with the entire driving process. You know.
Yeah.
So the steering wheel, you definitely got to keep putting in even minor inputs just to keep the car straight, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, you don't have to put in so much effort to.
You know, that's another reason. You know, like people get more accidents with new cars because the cars are so comfortable. Everything is like you don't have to do so much. But when you sit on a classic car, you're constantly handling your steering, your gear. You gotta make sure.
Correct.
Sometimes your side mirror will drop. You gotta adjust. You know, these are the things that keeps you alert and you know you're always focused on the road and you know.
And I also really believe that manual gearboxes, manual transmissions, save lives because you actually have to be a bit more alert.
Yeah.
And you know into what gear you're being in. You see right now, I'm in 5th gear. I think I need a bit more power. So what I'm going to do is
drop gear.
blip the throttle a bit, feel it, you know.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
But bro, I think it's time for us to get back.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for letting me drive this.
Thank you. Thank you for shooting this on my time. You know, tomorrow is a Sunday. I'll be sleeping late.
Not at all, bro.
Yeah.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna find a place to find my way back. Okay.
And then that's it. Yeah.
Then
Off the engine.
here.
Yeah. And then you open from the outside. No?
Okay.
It'll be easier when you heat up and
Nice. So should I put it in gear?
Okay.
Alright.
That's it.
Gotta figure out how to get out.
Alright.
What an experience, man. Thanks so much, Terence.
Okay, no worries.
Obviously a very nice ride.
Yeah.
Totally different than what we are usually used to driving. Even the keys are just this.
Yeah.
Right? So
But I hope you will update me when you drive another car which is familiar to this, because this is totally a different
this is definitely an
experience,
occasion.
Yeah.
Definitely an occasion. I mean, it's not very often you get to drive a car that is so raw.
Yeah.
I mean, this is after all a car from 1969.
Yeah.
And if you can just compare how much cars have advanced, I guess the keys are a good way. These are keys from 1969. This is key from 2018. You know?